I wake up in my narrow cot, wedged between flaky magnolia walls that smell of damp chalk and old toast. The ceiling is a jigsaw of water stains, each bloom darker than the last, as though the building itself is quietly bruising overnight. I am an international girl, 13 time zones from home, and I have never felt tinier. My phone says 6:14 anti-meridim. Outside, Salford's sky is the color of dishwater, the rain drumming on the tin roof like loose change in a dryer. This is morning number 96 at University of Salford, and the loneliness is already a third lung inside me, swelling with every drizzle drop. I sit up, knees cracking like cheap plastic, and fish the acceptance email from under my pillow. The paper is crinkled because I cried on it the night the admissions office rang to say, "Sorry, dear, your January seat evaporated, but we can shuffle you to September if you cough up another deposit." They practically dared me to say no. I was raised to believe that universities are cathedrals of knowledge, so I paid. That is scamming, gentle listener, and scamming is bad because it turns hope into currency and then pickpockets the currency. If you agree, whisper yes into the dark. We are building a choir of bruised hearts. By 8:00, I shuffle toward the creative media building, hood up like a penitent monk. The corridor lights flicker at 32 Hz, a frequency scientifically proven to spike anxiety. I learned that when I still trusted lecturers. Today the seminar room is locked. A handwritten note. Program leader away at conference, self-study zone. The marker ink is still wet. It smears across my fingertips like beginner-s mascara. Imagine signing up for piano lessons and being told teach yourself chopsticks while we gallivant in Barcelona. The neurons in my brain squeeze tight, shooting cortisol through my veins. Why bother paying humans who do not appear? Because, darlings, this place mistook cost-cutting for strategy. Their wages stay cozy while our frontal lobes fry. The library is no sanctuary. Half the keyboards are missing the letter E, so every essay becomes a cryptic crossword. I queue 40 minutes for a functioning computer, only to discover the dissertation portal crashed at midnight. We were given 4 weeks to produce 15,000 words that determine visa renewal. In England, that span includes Christmas, when supervisors vanish like Lux socks in a tumble dryer. No guidance, no feedback, just the existential void in Microsoft Word cursor blinking, "You are worthless, you are worthless." My hands tremble. The girl beside me silently weeps into her checked scarf. We exchange no words, yet we are sisters of the damned. Lunchtime. Canteen pizza is microwaved until the cheese recreates the surface of the moon. Hard gray cratered. One bite and the crust shards cut my gum. Tomato sauce tastes faintly of rust. Nutrition affects serotonin, listener, and sadness tastes like oxidized iron. I spit discreetly into a napkin, remembering home where grandma simmered tomatoes with actual basil, not factory powder. The cashier overcharges me, of course, because pricing is another roulette here. I imagine every extra pound feeding a vice chancellor's golden fountain pen. Corruption can be granular, pennies at a time, till you realize your skeleton is getting lighter. Afternoon placement fiasco. Nursing cohort herded into a corridor to be told, "Sorry, your placements evaporate, budget restructure." Faces crumble. One mature student, mother of 2, begins to hyperventilate because childcare is booked, rent is due, and the university promised a stipend that now dissolves like wet tissue. Organizational failure is not abstract. It is a single mother picturing her toddlers hungry. Mismanage 3 letters, destroy 50 futures. Comment below if you too have tasted that metallic dread. I retreat to dormitory block, see the lift wheezes like an asthmatic accordion and parks itself between floors. So I clam.
Out, thighs burning. My corridor reeks of sour milk. Someone's fridge died days ago and no janitor has clocked in. Inside my room, mold blooms velvet black along the window seam. Spores dance in the shaft of sodium light, pirouetting into my alveoli.
I am investigating crimes near University of Salford, like scams and fraud that can affect tourists. Sadly, I didn't find any recent news stories about outrageous scams or frauds in brick and mortar stores near the university. But I am gonna tell you what I think might happen based on what I know about the area. Businesses near University of Salford are pretty friendly, but you gotta be careful. I think some of them might try to take advantage of tourists who are new to the area. Like you go to a store and they might try to overcharge you for something or sell you something that's not even worth it. It's like, how could you do that to someone it's so wrong. Let us say, for example, you go to a souvenir shop near the university and they try to sell you a fake University of Salford t-shirt for way too much money. You're probably thinking, wow, this is a great deal, but really it's just a cheap fake and you'll realize it when you get back to your hotel. I think the shop owner probably just laughed all the way to the bank while you left feeling stupid and frustrated. Or maybe you go to a cafe near the university and they try to scam you with a fake student discount that doesn't even exist. They oh yeah, we have a special discount for students, just show us your ID. And you cool, I am a student, I'll get the discount, but really they just taking advantage of you and you'll end up paying way more than you should. I think the cafe owner probably thought, gotcha. Another tourist fell for it. It's just so sad, These businesses are supposed to be helping tourists have a good time, but instead, they just trying to scam them. I think we should all be careful when we traveling and not trust everyone we meet. It's be friendly, but don't be stupid,
The reality of businesses near the University of Salford, if you're expecting a warm welcome, quality service, or even basic competence from businesses near the University of Salford, lower those expectations immediately. This area has a peculiar talent for disappointment. The reviews paint a picture of neglect, incompetence, and in some cases, outright scams. Let's dive into the details so you know exactly what you're walking into. Spa and wellness. More like pain and regret businesses offering relaxation near the University of Salford seem to specialize in the opposite. Bali Health Lounge, for example, promises luxury but delivers amateur hour. Customers report deep tissue massages that leave bruises instead of relief. Therapists who may as well have learned their craft from a YouTube tutorial, and prices that border on robbery. One guest paid £69 for a 45-minute session, because apparently time vanishes faster than your money here. Others arrived only to find the place had shut down, taking their prepayments with it. If you want a massage that doesn't feel like a wrestling match, look elsewhere. Dining where flavor goes to die restaurants near the University of Salford have a strange relationship with food. They treat it like an abstract concept rather than something people actually enjoy. Lahore Manchester is a masterclass in culinary disappointment. Bland, overcooked, or suspiciously stale meals are the norm. One diner described their signature chicken karahi as watery chicken curry, while another found peas in their biryani, a crime against tradition. Then there's the service orders forgotten, staff more interested in flirting than feeding, and bills padded with mystery charges. If you're craving edible food, you might have better luck at a gas station. Coffee shops where patience and quality are both optional need caffeine. Grindsmith at Media City will test your tolerance, not just for coffee, but for incompetence. Reviews mention burnt milk, glacial wait times, and staff who act like serving you is a personal inconvenience. One customer waited 25 minutes for a takeout coffee, only to dump it straight in the trash. Another was told they couldn't have gluten-free bread because the owners were on holiday. Apparently, £3 for a loaf was too much to authorize in their absence. For a place that revolves around coffee, they seem allergic to efficiency. The Lowry A masterclass in mismanagement, even cultural spots like the Lowry aren't safe. The cafe here has a knack for serving vegetarians meat and shrugging it off. Need accessibility. Staff might scrutinize you like a suspicious artifact before reluctantly pointing to the stairs. The shopping area is a ghost town, with parking fees that feel like a ransom. And if you're here for a show, good luck. Seats with no view are somehow still for sale. The Alchemist, where magic turns to misery. The Alchemist in Media City promises alchemy but delivers agony. Food arrives cold, undercooked, or smelling like it fought a losing battle with expiration dates. Service is a gamble. Staff might ignore you, argue with you, or vanish entirely. One guest was charged for an optional service fee without being asked, then handed a bill with a sarcastic thanks scribbled on it. If you're looking for a magical experience, try a children's birthday party instead. Final warning: businesses near the University of Salford operate on a different wavelength. one where customer satisfaction is a myth and basic standards